Welcome to the final video on the channel. How's it going, people? Welcome back to another video. So this will be the final video of 2024 on this channel. Also, you like my new jacket? We're repping the new jacket today. If you follow me on TikTok, you'll have seen this already. And Lab Culture, shout out Jayhawk again for the Lab Culture drop. So this video is a roundup of 2024, and we're going to go over some of the goals I set myself for this year and some of the goals that I have set out for 2025. So let's get into it. Right, so I've got my notes here, so you'll have to bear with me because there's a lot to go through. So in this video I want to set out the goals that I want to lay down for 2025, and then go over the ones that we set ourselves for this year and see if we achieved them or not, or some of them. And that's pretty much it. It's just going to be a bit of a longer video because there's a lot to cover. So the good news is we didn't achieve the main goals for 2024. Yeah, you heard that right. We didn't achieve them. I look back on my video notes from last year before doing this one, and we didn't even touch them hardly, which I was shocked about because, you know, we've done quite a lot in 2024, but it didn't really touch the ones that I set out for 2024. But we achieved other things, and we achieved good things. So anyway, we did achieve much more than we set out to achieve, and it's not a bad thing that we didn't really achieve anything of 2024 that we wanted to. It just means that the plan changed somewhere along the line and we achieved different things. And there was also factors involved in some of the goals that prevented me from reaching them, which I've covered in another video before this one's gone up. But we adapted, you know. We adapted and we achieved a lot more than I initially anticipated, which is good. So even though we didn't achieve the original ones, we adapted and we achieved much more, and we achieved different things. So let's lay out, let's get into the ones that I set out for this year, and then we will break them down in a bit more further detail. So the goals I set myself out, and a bit of an embarrassing one, to not be single anymore. Now, are we still single? Yeah. But to be fair, I didn't really do anything to change that, so that's on me. That have a different job, not happened yet, but let's see what happens in 2025. Get more out of my uni course. If you've watched one of the videos before this one, you'll know that I'm not there anymore currently. I'm trying to fix that. Get rid of excess body fat. We did to some degree, but we didn't go as hard, and we didn't achieve as much as I'd like. Develop the men's support network that I wanted to set up. Now, I did set it up and it is up and running, but it's not developed as much as I'd like it to be. Set up my clothing company, not done that either. I did, however, make moves towards that. It's just not come to fruition yet, but keep your eye on 2025, that's all I'm saying. I had some goals for social media and YouTube content. Well, you know, this is one of 5 videos that you've seen in the last 11 months on this channel, so self-explanatory. Travel more and do some solo trips. Didn't really do that. Do more music content, drum covers / sound engineering stuff. Yeah, we didn't really do that. And practice drums more. We didn't really do that. So let's break down the goals and give you some updates on some of them. So I don't want to be single. I didn't want to be single anymore in 2024. Now that didn't happen, but I'm not mad about it. That's what I wrote in my notes. I'm not mad about it. I do, however, want that to be different in 2025 though, because obviously at some point next year I will be 33, and yeah, whilst I am in a much better place in life now, and I feel like I'm able to be emotionally open to somebody else, it gets a bit boring when you're in your 30s and there's only you know what I mean? So I'd like to change that next year. I did want a new job last year, I won't lie. It's no secret to many people, but that didn't happen. other stuff happened instead, which I covered in the video. I ended up having 5 months off my job instead. But I can't really go into detail as of right now. But the broad thing is that last year I wanted a new job and I didn't get one. But 2025 is all I'm saying. Let's see what happens. Get more out of my uni course. Believe it or not, this is what I've wrote. Believe it or not, this and the work situation are linked. Because to put it politely, work and uni clash. That's literally what I've written down here. I can't really go into detail on that, but just know that I am trying to fix it. And I will go back to uni at some point next year. It's just not sorted out yet. Get rid of excess body fat. I can't speak. Get rid of excess body fat. Now we did to some degree, but not fully like I'd like to. So we could have worked harder at that, I think, to be honest. We gained muscle mass though, which is good. I've got a frame now. I've got a foundation to build on. I'm stronger. I can bench 110 kilos. I can deadlift 150 kilos. So we didn't really get rid of excess body fat to the extent that I'd like, but we are so much stronger than we were at the beginning of the year now. So I'm taking that as a win. Grow the men's support network that I wanted to set up. Now it is, like I say, it is set up, but because of the work situation, I didn't really do anything with it because I was mentally kaput for half the year, pretty much. So I managed to get an event in towards the end of the year, but there's not much was done with that last year, which is I'm disappointed with, because I can do better than that, you know. 2025, big things happening next year, I'm telling you. Clothing company, I wanted to get that more of a reality this year than what it has been, and I did make moves on that, but I didn't, you know. I do, however, know what I need to do now to make it a reality, and I do know what I need to do before I actually officially set it up. So that will be happening in 2025. And be consistent with content and YouTube stuff. Well, like I said, considering this is the 5th video that I've uploaded in the last few days, in 11 months, that should tell you all you need to know about that, shouldn't it? But I have been, for the last 3 months, consistent on uploads on TikTok, which has been a lot of fun to use, because that has taught me how to be consistent and balance it around life. So, moving into 2025, which I will cover in a minute, consistency. That's what's going to happen. I formed a lot of valuable friendships on TikTok because of my consistency and because of the support network that's building on there. So if you've come across from TikTok to watch this video, or the others, I appreciate you. Just know that we're going to have a big 2025. So some of those friendships have turned into potential collabs for next year. I can tell you now, there's at least two people I'm talking to do collabs with next year. We just haven't sorted out the finer details, but that's in the works already, which is fun. That's exciting. Right, so now that we've covered what I wanted to achieve in 2024, let's go over what I want to achieve in 2025. Now, this is what I'm reading here, word for word, because you need the context. But based off what we didn't do this year, a lot of these will carry over into 2025. However, we have extras. And I've covered some of these extras in a separate video, which you can find in this card here. A lot of my goals are fitness related, if you can believe that. There's no surprise there, let's be honest. But some of them are heavily life focused. I've covered this, I think, in my fitness goals video that came before this. But I said in that video that I want to be in a vastly different place this time next year than I am now. I want it to be an unrecognisable place. I almost want to flip my life not upside down, but on its head kind of thing, you know, and just like completely overhaul it massively. to the point where this time next year, even I will be like, what on earth happened? You know what I mean? I want to be just as surprised as you are this time next year. So yeah, first one. Obviously I don't want to be single anymore because it's reaching the point where I'm like, right, I'm fed up now. You know what I mean? I'm fed up. But there's, considering that in 2024, the amount of times I said I would take myself out and I would take myself to the cinema and I didn't do, it tells you all you need to know, right? I didn't do anything to change that situation, and I fully hold my hands up and admit that. So I know that I have to, you know, the people are outside. I have to go outside. So I think that goal should be go outside more in 2025. But yeah, I have to change that because it's literally boring at this point, mate, honestly. Have a different job. I'm going to leave it at that because I can't really go into details. But 2025, hopefully, different job. Get back into photography and filmmaking, I've put here, because I have a passion for like cinematography and photography and short films, you know. So I do actually want to make my own, and I want to get back into photography. I just want to be more creative with this, and I don't know where to put it. with this, you know, I have cameras. You know what I mean? That's not a brag. I buy cameras when I feel inspired. It sounds bad, doesn't it? But I feel when I get a wave of inspiration, more often than not, I end up buying something to help me with my creativity, and because of that, I've ended up with like a couple of GoPros, the Pocket 2 of this that I bought like last year or 2 years ago, this one which is the Pocket 3, you know, but this, to be fair, this has never been out my hand since I've had it. So I get this inspiration, and I've got all these different things that I've not used, and I've got lenses, I've got a camera, and I just want to make the most of it, and if I can make me money, even better. And you know, my sister's kind of started a little business, and I say a little business because it's kind of in the what do you call it? The like practice stage. And I've been taking pictures of her products for her, and it's just been so much fun. Like, it's made me realise that I miss doing it. So I want to do it more in 2025. Do you know what I mean? I want to do more stuff to do with tech, because I love tech. You know what I mean? I love cameras. I love music related tech. So expect a massive change on this channel, because I want to do more creativity stuff, and I just want to have fun. You know what I mean? I want to have fun with my outlet, basically. Be consistent with all of this. I put 2025 is the year that we actually make a dent in this and start having more experiences that can only happen because of this outlet. So, you know, I see people all the time. I've got a couple of my favourite creators that are doing mad moves at the minute, and seeing the opportunities that they get because of this, I'm like, I want to do that. I want to do that so badly. I've been wanting to do this so badly since about 2008. You know what I mean? I was talking to one of my favourite creators at the moment. He's called Callum AFK. I'll tag him in the comments. He's a tech YouTuber. I was having this conversation with him on Instagram the other day, and I was like, I've been wanting to do this since 2008. You know, and it's about time now that we do something about it. Do you know what I mean? It is about time that we do something about it, because this is it now. If I don't do it now, it's never going to happen, and I can't kill my passion like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So 2025, big things. Get back to uni. That's pretty much it, is what I wrote, because obviously a complicated situation right now, but that avenue is going to help me form a career. You know, there's a career as a sound, like I've covered it in another video, but as a sound engineer / audio engineer that I'm trying to build, and that avenue will give me exactly what I need. And you know, it's probably why I'm meeting most resistance at the moment with it, because I can't remember the quote, but I watched something not too long ago, and the guy was saying something like, you know, if you're feeling resistance in an area, in like a creative area, then it tells you you're on the right path or something like that. So it probably explains why I'm meeting most resistance in that area, because that's you know, what I'm destined to do. So we'll fix that situation. Be closer to making clothing company a reality. I know exactly what I need to do now before I set it up, which is fine. You know, I will get that sorted for 2025, because that dream, right? That dream has been sat on the shelf on the back of my head here for about 10 years. Honestly, 10, 12 years or something. And I feel like and I come back to it every so often, right? And I refine the idea, I write more ideas down with it, and I think I've got the final form, and then it gets changed again and again and again. But now it's finally at its final form. I feel like it's finally at the place where it's like, okay, this is the baseline of what I want it to be. This is what I want to do. I just need to do it, you know. I need to take it off the shelf, brush the dust off, and go, it's your time now, you know. So I want to be closer to making that a reality next year, because I've got serious plans for it, and it needs to happen. If it's not, I'm not even bothered if it's not set up next year, right? As long as it is closer to it being a reality next year, as long as I can look at it and go, you know what, at some point this can launch. Hopefully in 2025 it could launch, but even if it means spending all of the year prepping it and getting it ready for 2026, I do not care. As long as it is more of a reality next year than it is now, that's the goal. Have the men's support network established more. So, like I said, there were factors involved that stopped me doing what I really wanted to do with it this year, because believe it or not, I actually had the whole year planned out with events to do with it, and because of what happened at work, it set me right back with it. So I really want to get that more regular and more established in 2025. That's idiot. Be lean and lose body fat. You know, I've covered my fitness goals for the year in a video before this, so you'll know them if you've watched that. Those goals in themselves are massive. You know, I feel like I've really set myself a big challenge for that. So that's that. I've told myself I want abs this year in 2025. Whether that's going to happen or not, I do not know, but I'm going to try my hardest to do it. That's for sure. Start networking with people in the music industry and the sound engineering circles. So, because of everything that's going on with work right now and uni, my thought is, well, if you're going to be awkward about that, then I'm just going to go and form my own experiences while you just make your mind up, you know. So I really want to start mixing with people from, you know, people who work at studios, sound engineers who work at studios, people in live sound. So if there's anybody from Manchester in the industry and you're watching this, and if you'll let me shadow you for the day or whatever, please drop a comment down below, because I aim to make 2025 a big year for my own personal music career, you know, because it's about time that I actually got fully immersed in it and just went with it, you know. So, and the words I've wrote down here, I've realised that in order for me to succeed at this, I need to be very hands-on regularly with it. So 2025 is the year that I get fully immersed in it. Maybe even learn to make music as well, because that's on my goal list as well. I've just not wrote it down. Learn to focus on the right things. Now, I've wrote here that it sounds like a bit of a weird goal to have, but 2024, I let myself get far too distracted and far too overwhelmed with the wrong things, and because of that, everything else suffered. You know, this suffered, the men's thing suffered, my creativity suffered. So I don't want another year like this. You know, this year started out alright, and then halfway through it just crashed and took a nosedive. And I don't want another year like that. I want 2025 to be big. I covered this in the other video, but I've got just this really big feeling here in my core that 2025 is going to be big, you know, and this feeling inside is waiting to erupt. I can't describe it, but I can't let next year be another year like this year, because this year was just mad. So that's really important to me, that I learn to focus and prioritize the right things. My theme for the year is to break the cycle. Because how many times have I come on here and said, it's been a while on it. It's been a while since I've uploaded a video here. How many times have I done that? I'm sick of it. You know what I mean? If you went through my channel and looked at the titles of videos that said, it's been a while, guess where I've been? Let me tell you where I've been. Stupid amount of times, and it far too many times for a YouTube channel that's 7 years old, bro. You know, that really like punched me in the gut that the other day when I realised that. When I realised this channel was 7 years old and I've not done anything with it. Bro, do you know how much time I've wasted? I want to almost eradicate those 7 years with a year full of productivity. You know, I almost want next year to cancel out the 7 years that I've wasted with this channel, because I can't have another process like this. I've got to break the cycle. You know what I mean? I wind myself up, so it's got to end. It's got to end. Another one that I didn't write down on here, but I actually thought of before I recorded this, is that I want to practice drums more. So I only play drums once a week. You know, for those of you who don't know, I'm in a worship band. I'm kind of the sound engineer and the drummer at the same time, which is a challenging job sometimes. But I only tend to play drums once a week on a Sunday morning. Twice a week if we do a practice. But apart from that, I don't practice them, and I want to practice them. You know what I mean? I like playing the drums. They're like one of my favourite instruments to play. So I've decided I want to practice more, and because of that, I want to do like. Now you're hearing this first, right, before I've even planned it out, but I kind of want to do some drum cover content, you know, and maybe some like drum interpretations of songs. I got an idea for one the other day while I was at work, and I was like, I need to. I was literally sat in the room at work, and I was going, you know, with the beat in my phone to record it, because I'm like, I can't forget this. So I want to do that as well. I want to just do a bit more music content, you know, a bit more sound engineering content. So I'm gonna have to plan that out a bit more, but that's a goal that I didn't write down at the time of writing these notes. It literally was decided the other day. So that's pretty much it. That was my 2024 roundup, and that was my goal setting for 2025. Now it's another year in the bag. It was a mixture of good and bad, but we can chalk it up as a lesson, and now we can focus up for 2025 to have the best year, one of the best years of our lives. We can have that next year. You know, we're going into next year with a better mindset. I've got a good feeling about next year. Good things are on the horizon, and this time next year we might have a lot to report back on. I'm hoping we have a lot to report back on. So one lesson I took from this year is that things don't always go to plan. But that's okay, because you just have to keep adapting and moving forward. If you stand still and let everything overwhelm you, then everything comes crashing down around you. But if you adapt and you keep moving, that's what matters. So that's what we're going to do in 2025. We're going to keep adapting and moving forward if challenges come and block our path. We will succeed next year. And you will see a different person this time next year, because even if I do not record another video for another 11 months, which is not going to happen, by the way, I'm still going to do one of these at the end of 2025, and I will be a different person. You can take that. You can take that. So, if you've got any goals for 2025, let me know in the comments, or send me a message on Instagram or whatever. But apart from that, that's it from me for this year. If I don't see you before then, or speak to you before then, have a great new year, and I will see you in 2025. Catch you later.